Hey y'all, so today we are continuing my Homeowners series, and today we're going to talk about things homeowners should know, whether it's things you should find out where they are or figure out how to do. There's many random things associated with owning a house that, like, as a first-time homebuyer, I didn't always have a concept about. Or thankfully my parents did give me a heads up, so I was able to figure it out. But these are my top things as a homeowner that you need to know, figure out to be successful in your home environment. So let's jump on in. Number one is knowing where your electrical panel is and having it labeled. This is going to save you such a headache down the road. Like, if you know exactly where it is and it's labeled and good to go for you. With that, knowing where your water shutoff valve is, that is super duper important for any adult in the household to know. Like, if a leak springs, you need to be able to shut off your water quickly. So make sure you find that and then know how to actually turn it off. Like, do you need a wrench or can you just screw it? That will save you so much time during an emergency. So this next one is a homeowner thing, but it also could be like an everybody thing, but it's something I never thought about until we had an issue. You need to let exterior walls breathe. And what that means is in your household, you should try your best not to shove furniture or bags or storage items up directly against a wall to where there's no airflow behind it. Now, my mom used to work in homeowners insurance and she would see this all the time where people would like have their beds right against the wall or have dressers or different things or couches and not have any space really behind it for airflow to happen. And eventually you move your furniture and you find mold on your wall. And this happened to me just a few months ago. I was cleaning out and organizing my youngest son's closet, which is truly our catch-all closet. Like, it's not his closet. It's my closet of all our extra storage stuff. And we had bags of like blankets and such shoved at the bottom of his closet to the exterior wall, and they had not moved in years. And when I moved everything out, there's a nice little coating of mold on the wall. Thankfully, it was just in that area, just on the drywall, easy replacement, but it's something I did not think about, and I literally called my mom crying, and she's like, oh yeah, that's typical. You have to let the walls breathe. Like, it makes sense, but like when you're putting your furniture in your house, you don't think about like, oh, I should leave like 2 inches between this piece of furniture and the wall so it can breathe. Like, but it can happen and it can create mold and mildew issues, so let your walls breathe. Now, this next one is one we actually found out about the hard way as well, but it is to track and watch your water bill for any trends or like deviations from the trends. So to give you an example, our water bill on a normal month is usually like $35. Like, we don't spend a lot on water. Now, if we're watering our front and back lawns, it definitely goes up more towards $70. You know, we're trying to actually get rid of the front grass and make it more like desert friendly, like low water maintenance, just to save some money there. But if you're not paying attention to what your water bill is and all of a sudden it spikes up, you may miss that you have a leak. So for us, you know, our typical bill, especially in the winter when we're not watering the lawns, is about $35. I got the preview for our bill and it shot up to $500. And I was like, what in the world happened? Like, what have we been doing? Have we been taking ridiculous long showers? What's happening? We had a water spigot in our front yard, which is behind these bushes that have been here for decades, in an area of a flower bed. The connector broke on that pipe, and we had no concept. We could not see the water run off at all. So we had no idea this leak was happening. And if we hadn't been checking our bills and knowing like the consistent typical price we were paying, I would have no idea that we had a leak. And this actually was really helpful. We had about 2 months of high bills from this leak. You know, we caught it within the first month, but the way the billing cycle worked, you know, we got charged over on 2 months. Our water company eventually reached out to us with an email of like, hey, your water use last 2 months has been like excessive. You might have a leak. Like, you should check that. By that time, we had already found the problem. So knowing your bill average gives you kind of that power to be like, something is wrong, and start checking all of your pipes and your connections, whether that's your sprinklers, outdoor pipes, pipes underneath your house, under your sinks. Knowing that will save you time and energy in the long run. Just pay attention to those trends. I did not know as a homeowner how important insulation was. Like, insulation is key to helping with the temperature of your house and keeping you not running your HVAC system all the time, especially depending on where you live. For us, where we live in California, it is a requirement to have insulation in our attic space, and that is great. In our walls, this is a 1950s house. They used to have insulation, but it's all kind of fallen down now, so we don't have the greatest exterior wall insulation, but something we did not think about until we were in our house for a while, because we pulled up all of the carpets in the house and exposed the original hardwood again, which the first family had and then eventually put carpet on. We did not realize how poorly it was insulated under the house, and we actually paid somebody to come go in that tiny crawl space, which is like 3 feet deep, and insulate the entire under of our house. It has saved us so much money on our PG&E bill because of that being insulated. It's helping regulate the temperature of the house more. If we eventually go and do the walls, that would be even better, but that has been really helpful. Some other areas to think about is you can insulate your exterior wall outlets. So in your house, any outlets that are on an exterior wall, you get these cool little foam things that you kind of like put behind the outlet cover that helps like insulate it. I found that to be very helpful. There was one in our room where I was like, if I put my hand in front of the outlet, I could feel it, the temperature difference. It was colder. We put in the foam thing, no more temperature distance. So, we're not losing that heat barrier as much anymore from the exterior outlet area. So that's been really nice. You also can insulate your garage door depending on where you live, and that can make a difference with your household as well. Depending on if you want to be like have that more of a living space or be working out or working in that area when it's cold, the insulation can help there as well. Insulation, it can cost a pretty penny up front, but it saves you money over time. Now, here are a few maintenance things that I did not think about, and now I'm kind of like, duh, Shannon, but things I didn't think about maintaining. Garbage disposal. You need to be maintaining your garbage disposal. You need to be cleaning it out, which can be using like little cleaning drops or things that you can put in, but also every now and then taking it apart and like cleaning it out can be very beneficial for your garbage disposal. Washing machine maintenance and dishwasher maintenance. These are items that like clean our other items, but we don't always think about that we need to clean them. So like running vinegar for your dishwasher or your washer, using cleaning tablets or like the Tide, or I think there's a few other brands of washing machine cleaners that you can add in with the cleaning cycle, just clean everything out. Those can help your appliances last longer by getting all the built up gunk out of them. So I always recommend looking at the manuals for those, checking out different products and figuring out how to maintain those best. You're not replacing your appliances. Appliances are not built like they used to be. Like, I would give anything for an old-fashioned washing machine that would last 30 years. Like, that'd be amazing. But they're not built like that anymore unless you're going to spend the money on a Speed Queen, which I would love a Speed Queen. But, maintaining those is going to be very helpful. Also with that is vacuuming the back of your fridge. Like, that is something I don't really think about often at all. Is like, you should, like, every 6 months to a year, pull out your fridge, vacuum off the coils, make sure nothing's behind there or blocking anything. It's going to make your fridge run more efficiently with it not overheating and trying to overcompensate for itself. Dryer vent maintenance is also super important. This is something that actually has been drilled into me since I was a child from my mom. You need to be cleaning the lint trap every time you use the dryer, but also every few months cleaning the connection through the machine out of your house and making sure all that is cleared out. That getting built up with lint and whatnot is a massive fire hazard. So many houses have caught on fires over the years from that area of getting too much buildup and then something sparks and you got a house fire. Like, it does not take long to either buy or rent some tools to be able to fully clean that out with a shop vac or some of those tools that kind of get in there and really pull everything out. Do the time. It's not like the cleanest chore to do. You're going to get a bit messy, but it can save you from a huge fire. Like, that's the honest truth. Now, this is one household thing that I'll be honest, I do not do. This is my husband's job because he has the stomach to handle it. But as a homeowner, you are going to learn how to snake drains, especially shower drains, and clean out P-traps in sink. If you have long hair, no matter what you do, it is going to get everywhere. Even if you have all the hair catchers in your shower, if you're trying to keep it out of your sink, it's going to happen. Things are going to back up. Every once in a while, every few months, it's a great idea to snake the shower, maybe take out the P-trap on the bottom of your sink and clean it out. A, it's gonna smell better. B, you're just gonna have less maintenance issues if you're continuously keeping those areas clean. Now let's talk about outside for a little bit. Two big things outside, especially depending on where you live. Cleaning out your gutters, which no one really wants to do. No one wants to get on the ladder. You can choose to purchase gutters or the gutter extenders, so like leaves and things aren't building up in there, but maintaining those is just going to help the life of your roof and potential leaks or water piling up and getting too close to your foundation, as well as weatherizing your pipes, depending on where you live, especially if you're in your cold area. You need to make sure your exterior pipes are wrapped, they're weatherized, and they are not going to freeze in the middle of a freezing snowstorm. Like, that is just a recipe for a disaster. So taking care of those pipes, taking care of those gutters can make a big difference. With also your gutters, get drain extenders. Oh my goodness, it drives me wild, and I totally think it's because of my mom's previous job and watching a million episodes on HGTV over the years. Anytime people have like the gutter drains that go like right by their house, right to the foundation area, oh, it like hurts something in my soul so much because it's potentially over time going to cause damage. So with our house, any of the drains that come down, I have extenders on them. Like there's one near our back patio. There's some on the corners of our houses. We have those little plastic extenders. You can get them at like Home Depot and Lowe's just to push the water further away from the house so it's not near our foundation area. Just, it's an extra precaution. They don't cost a lot extra and they can make a difference over time. Alrighty, I have two more for you. So this one is changing your air filter in your house every 6 months. If you have super allergies, I'd change it every quarter. This just needs to be done. You can buy a multi-pack of them and store them in a closet. We've done that multiple times so that we don't have to run to the store every 6 months. We want to change it. Or when we have really bad fire seasons here in Northern California, if we go through a bad fire season, even if it wasn't time to change the air filter, I'll have my husband switch it out just so that we have fresher, cleaner, more filtered air coming through the household. Really good idea to figure out the size of that, maybe take a picture on your phone if you need help memorizing it, and just get a multi-pack so you always have them on hand. And this last one is one I had no concept of until something bad happened. So I did not know that every 6 months you are supposed to fully drain your water heater. If you have a true tank water heater, you're supposed to drain them every 6 months and let all the sediment and like stuff comes out because stuff is coming in through your water and like sits in there. You need to let it all drain out like every 6 months, and then you got to refill it and it has to go through its process to warm up again. But that has to be done, as well as changing, I think it's called as well as changing the rod that goes in it. That I don't fully know the function of it, but that's supposed to be changed pretty often too. Check your manual for your water heater. Please do that maintenance. I think my husband had like a light concept on it, but I had no concept. And then one day I'm home alone and all of a sudden I'm like, there is water coming out of the garage into our backyard area. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I'm sending my husband like photos of it. I was like, what is happening? He's like, we didn't drain the water heater. And eventually it built up bad enough where the water heater did its own job and kicked it all out. It just drained it all out. But it freaked me out, and if it wasn't set up the way it was, it could have caused water damage in our house. Thankfully, the way it was set up, it drained out the way it was supposed to, away from the house. But something just easily maintenance, it's not the funnest job. You know, it takes a while, especially takes a while to refill and heat up your water again, but like you will save the life of your water heater. Water heaters are annoyingly not cheap, and they're a pain in the butt to replace if you're gonna do it yourself or you're gonna spend a ton of money having someone else do it for you. So figure out the maintenance for your water heater. Make sure you do it. My husband's trick now is he actually puts like a little bit of masking tape or painter's tape on the side of the water heater, and he will write the dates on there of when he last drained it and when he changed the rod. That way it's a good visual reminder for him anytime he sees the water heater when he last did it. And then he kind of has it on his calendar when to change it. But if anyone asks if we had an issue with the house, I could easily see the dates even though he does the maintenance of it. It's just something easy to label that you know when you last did it, so you make sure you do it again on time. Alright, y'all, so those are all my random homeowner things you need to know, things to do to help with the maintenance of your house, keep your house running healthy. If you have other recommendations, things you should be doing to keep your house maintenance going, take care of your appliances or whatnot, let us know in the comments below. Help us out. We're all learning this together, and there's so many things about our homes you don't know until you know, or until something bad happens and you find out. So let us know some of your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.